We now move to questions to the Minister for Economy, and I call Daniel McCrossan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Question 1, Minister.
Minister.
Decarbonisation is one of my 4 key objectives. Transitioning to net zero is the right thing to do, and it also offers economic opportunities. In order to grasp these opportunities, it is vital to equip the workforce with the necessary skills. My department has been working in collaboration with the Green Skills Delivery Group to develop an action plan to address the needs of the energy sector as well as wider green industries. This is a comprehensive framework to guide government, employers, trade unions, education providers and individuals on what is needed to deliver the skills for the future and to meet net zero targets. The plan will be launched in coming weeks. A subgroup of this delivery group, with representatives from business, academia and across government, will continue to advise us on changing green skills needs. Delivery has already commenced in some areas with 3 courses through the Skill Up programme, including hydrogen energy systems, installation and commissioning of electrical energy storage systems, passive house and retrofitting. Additionally, our universities and colleges offer a range of courses in energy, environment and sustainability, as well as net zero engineering. By working together, we can meet the challenge of the evolving and complex skills demands of the energy and wider green sectors.
Mr. McCrossan.
Thank you, Minister. The budget for 25-26 could result in the ending of the Skills Fund. What steps are you taking to protect its funding?
Minister.
So, as the member will be aware, all departments' budgets are constrained. The Executive's budget is constrained, and collectively we continue to make the case to the British Government to be properly funded. As a department, we are still working through our budget plans for 25-26, and we will be prioritising key areas within the department, skills being one of them.
Nicola Brogan.
I thank the Minister for her answer. Can the Minister outline what the Green Skills Action Plan will deliver and when will it be available?
Minister.
Based on research and stakeholder consultation, the Action Plan has identified 4 priority key areas of action to address the current and future green skills needs. These are reviewing the skills ecosystem, a partnership approach to ensure a skills system that is responsive to changing needs, promoting awareness of careers and opportunities in green jobs, green skills and transversal skills, and developing a skilled workforce. The aim of the plan is to help create an effective skills ecosystem that will be responsive to the changing needs of our green industries and build partnerships and networks that will collaborate and meet our skills challenges, as well as building career pathways and promoting opportunities in green sectors, and crucially will upskill the current workforce and develop a pipeline of suitably trained people for the future. A subgroup will be established for each priority action area that was mentioned to oversee the implementation of those actions, and we are currently trying to identify a suitable date to launch the action plan, and I hope that will be in coming weeks.
David Honeyford.
Speaker, thank the Minister for answers. To give our skilled workforce opportunity for employment, we need growth in the industry and the wider industry. With our grid not capable of taking by 40% renewable energy and that been dumped at sea, as the Minister, can you outline any expansion or investment into our electricity grid to allow those jobs to come through?
Sir.
And I thank the member for his question, and as the member will be aware, low carbon and green industries is one of our priority sectors, and we are working with industry to develop an action plan for the sector, which, as you mentioned, includes skills, but it also looks at the wider issues, and we are aware, for example, of the report published by Cornwall Institutes about some of the capacity issues that you have referred to. Department officials are obviously engaged in that, and we will be working collaboratively with industry to address some of those challenges. The member will also be aware that the consultation is out in relation to the grid connection charges and the socialisation of those. One of the actions that we are trying to take as a department to address some of those constraint issues, because it is going to require investment in the grid to take on the additional renewable capacity that not only meets our targets but will essentially deliver on our low carbon future.
Cara Hunter.
Please, Minister.
Minister.
With the Speaker's permission, I would like to group questions 2 and 6 together. On the 23rd of May, the Executive agreed a package of measures and allocated an additional £25 million to the Minister of Education to enhance early learning and childcare support in 2024-25. Amongst other things, the package included a commitment to provide targeted support to childcare providers in significant financial difficulty and in areas where demand for childcare exceeds supply. On the 22nd of July 2024, Minister Given wrote to both the Health Minister and my predecessor, Minister Murphy, asking for help with his department's scheme. Minister Murphy agreed to assist the Education Minister with this important work, as childcare is rightly a priority for the whole Executive. Due to our business expertise, my department volunteered to progress a research proposal, and the Department of Education transferred £153,000 to my department to fund this research. On the 30th of August, a DFE-led working group was established to better understand the sector's needs. The group commissioned innovation and consultancy services to carry out market research to determine the key issues impacting the financial sustainability of providers within the sector. This research will help inform what any specific sectoral support should take. The steering group met with Innovation and Consultancy Services on Thursday the 6th of February, and the research, which is progressing at pace, is on track to be completed by the end of March. Consultations have taken place with a cross-section of stakeholder organisations and representative organisations within the childcare and wider sectors. More detailed consultations with individual childcare providers and parents are taking place at present. The resultant evidence base will allow my department to make recommendations to the Minister of Education on the nature of assistance required by childcare providers.
Hunter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Minister, for your answer. Minister, while this research is very welcome, it sounds like a long work in progress. Right now in Northern Ireland, parents are forced to leave employment because they cannot afford childcare. We've seen Melted Parents NI today share helplines about mental health and being in debt to support parents. In the meantime, Minister, until this research is completed, what immediate action are you taking right now to support childcare providers while this research is ongoing?
Minister.
As I mentioned in my opening answer, childcare is rightly a priority for the whole Executive. It's one of the priorities in the draft programme for government, because collectively we all recognise the huge challenges both to parents in struggling with access to affordable childcare, but also to childcare providers in terms of their challenges that they faced in terms of the cost of doing business. So this research is really important in terms of informing exactly what types of interventions are necessary to support childcare providers and the most appropriate support and being the best value for money interventions that can be put in place. The Department is also taking forward other actions in relation to, for example, skills to support childcare providers and ensure there is that pipeline of people coming through, because we know that is also a challenge.
Diana Forsyth.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I thank the Minister for her answers so far. Minister, childcare is critical infrastructure to our economy here in Northern Ireland, and the sector is on its knees. We're seeing reports right across the board of them having to increase their fees, passing on to parents and effectively putting people out of work, but also the sector themselves are saying there's a number of providers that are facing closure in the weeks and months ahead. This would be catastrophic for our economy here. Minister, what are you doing to try to safeguard this sector and therefore safeguard our economy here in Northern Ireland by helping people get out to work and stay in their jobs?
Minister.
And I thank the member for her question, and I agree with an awful lot of what she has said. I think childcare is critical infrastructure, is critical economic infrastructure in terms of addressing challenges in relation to gender equality. It's also crucial for child development, so it is really important that we get this right, and rightly it's a priority for the Minister of Education as well as for myself, and as I have mentioned, it is a priority for the Executive as a whole, reflected in the programme for government. It is important that we get it right, and that's why the research is being undertaken to ensure that we do get the correct support to the sector. But the member also referred to challenges in the coming weeks, and we know that, for example, the impact of the increases in employers' national insurance contributions is going to hit all businesses, but many of our childcare providers who already have small margins will also be hit. So that's why when I was Minister of Finance, I commissioned research on the cost of doing business, and both of these pieces of research are due to report in March, so we will have a good evidence base in terms of what comes next in terms of interventions.
Cathy Mason.
And I thank the Minister for that information on the important research her department is doing to support the Education Department. Minister, you did reference other actions there. What else is the Department for Economy doing to assist the Department of Education when it comes to childcare specifically?
Minister.
And as I have mentioned to other members, childcare is a priority across the executive, and I wholeheartedly welcome the positive steps that are being taken by the Education Minister and others in relation to the positive steps that we have seen towards supporting child development and improving the affordability for families and supporting parents to work. The economic vision that we have sets out the need for investment in affordable childcare and fair pay for childcare providers. My skills agenda is looking at how we can best create a larger pool of qualified workers in the childcare sector, and I have ring-fenced £740,000 in the Skills Fund to support pathways into the childcare sector, which will help support the supply of workers to this critically important sector. Through working collaboratively, we have already developed childcare micro-courses through our 6 further educational colleges and a pilot Assured Skills Academy in early learning and childcare. The gender employment gap research, which I commissioned, has already been made available to the market research work on targeted business support for childcare providers, and my officials, along with Invest NI, continue to work closely with the Department of Education, including representation on a range of related cross-departmental groups. I'm fully committed to working with the Minister of Education and other executive colleagues to implement the early learning and childcare strategy.
Michelle Guy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think people will be really concerned that 1.8 million has been returned that was earmarked for childcare, given just how vital that sector is. And given that the childcare is an executive priority, did your department seek assurances from the Education Department that that money that was ring-fenced for childcare would still be used to deliver on childcare pressures in Northern Ireland?
As the member has heard me say repeatedly to other members, childcare is a priority for the executive, and this financial year 24-25 we were able to ring-fence that £25 million, and the Minister for Education did bring forward a series of proposals which were supported by the executive, and as I have already outlined, actions undertaken by my own department. In the incoming financial year for 25-26, the draft budget sets aside £50 million for childcare. So again, we will be building on the work that has been done in this year, and hopefully be in a position to support more parents and more childcare providers going forward. And we will collectively be looking at those proposals as they come to us, and the research that is being undertaken by my department will help to inform those proposals.
Al Boyle.
Question number 3, please.
Decarbonising the economy is one of my 4 departmental priorities. The Energy Efficiency Capital Grant helps businesses reduce their energy demand and build resilience through green efficiency. The grant is part of a wider suite of support delivered by Invest NI across the wider energy and resource efficiency programme. It is designed to be a 5-year grant programme valued at £40 million. Grant support is offered to eligible businesses to buy and install renewable technologies and energy-efficient equipment aimed at reducing energy costs and carbon emissions. Since the Energy Efficiency Capital Grant opened in April 2024, it has received over 1,300 inquiries, indicating an exceptionally high level of interest. Inquiries are being addressed in chronological order and are at various stages through the process. The scheme is delivering on regional balance, with over 70% of inquiries to date coming from outside the Belfast metropolitan area. My officials have been working closely with Invest NI since the scheme launch and have adopted a process of continued review through this initial pilot phase to ensure scheme delivery aligns with policy objectives on energy efficiency. The scheme demonstrates that businesses across multiple sectors and right across the north have an appetite to invest in becoming more sustainable. It is encouraging to see high interest from manufacturing sectors as well as the retail and hospitality sectors, who are increasingly moving to become more sustainable. As a result, the programme is showing early success in delivering across departmental priorities, including decarbonisation, regional balance and supporting growth in the investment in the green economy.
Well, Mr. Boyle.
Could I thank the Minister for her answers so far, but could I ask the Minister what types of businesses and technologies are attracting most investment through this scheme?
Scheme delivery has been ongoing now for 9 months, and we are beginning to see some trends in the data. For instance, solar PV is the most popular technology that businesses wish to deploy. The inquiries are coming from a mix of businesses, with the majority coming from manufacturing industries and the retail and hospitality sectors. The scheme is delivering, as I said, across the region, with over 70% of investment likely to be directed outside of the Belfast area, with most of the funding being delivered to SMEs.
Matthew Toole.
Minister, energy efficiency is indeed hugely important, and it's one of your, along with other types of decarbonisation, one of your 4 priorities. In your department's business plan, however, when next to baseline, i.e. how you would measure progress, there's a whole range of measures for other policy interventions, but for energy efficiency, the baseline is TBC. That's more than 6 months ago. Can you confirm what the baseline is in terms of measuring progress on energy efficiency?
I don't have that information in front of me, but I'm happy to write to the member.
Blair.
Thank the Minister for the information provided on the Energy Efficiency Capital Grant Scheme. Could I ask, though, if the Minister could outline how this will be budgeted for in the 25 to 26 financial year?
So, as I mentioned, the scheme has a budget of £40 million over, I think it's 5 years. Yes, 5-year grant programme valued at £40 million. So we will be, obviously based on applications being processed. So, as I said, we have 1,300 inquiries, which is an exceptionally high level of interest, and those are at various stages through the process. So we will be aligning the budgets to the demand as it goes forward.
Minister advise what steps her department is taking to scale up energy efficiency support for domestic households?
And I thank the member for his question. The department recently conducted a consultation or call for evidence in relation to energy support or energy efficiency support. So we will be looking at the analysis of that and bringing forward proposals in the near future.
Move on to Guy Middleton.
Mr. Speaker.
Artificial intelligence is one of the most significant technological developments in recent times. It will bring about significant change in the economy and the workforce, and it offers potential to contribute to my economic vision, most obviously in relation to productivity and good jobs. Last Monday, I met Napier AI, who are creating over 100 jobs in this field. They emphasised our skills base and our close connections with further and higher education institutions as a key reason for locating their investment here. It is important that we continue to provide that skills pipeline, and we are currently implementing our digital skills and our software and cyber sectoral action plans, and have a range of provision across the department to ensure that the required skills are available. These include the Artificial Intelligence Collaboration Centre, funded by my department and Invest NI, which is a 5-year £16.3 million initiative delivered by Ulster and Queen's Universities. It promotes AI awareness and adoption amongst businesses and offers hands-on support and skills development opportunities for SMEs. There are higher level apprenticeship programmes, including IT-related qualifications from level 5 through to level 7, which contain modules on AI. Specifically, there is a HLA Master's degree which combines AI and computer science, delivered by Ulster University. The Skill Up programme, part of my Skills Fund, is supporting the delivery of AI courses through our colleges and universities, and those courses range from level 3 through to level 7, with funding allocated for 95 participant places. This is a fast developing technology, and so it will be important to keep pace with the demand for skills.
Mr. Middleton.
Mr. Speaker, and can I thank the Minister for her comprehensive answer. Minister, how will the Department ensure that access to AI-related skills training is inclusive, particularly for those from disadvantaged backgrounds, or indeed those who are currently employed in sectors at risk of automation?
Yeah, and I thank the member for that question. And I think that it is important that we continue to upskill both individuals and businesses alike. And a priority for us across the skills landscape is inclusivity and ensuring that people from a broad range of backgrounds are able to access skills and training courses, and particularly those from underrepresented groups. So, for example, women in certain areas, people with disabilities, people from less well-off backgrounds, and those who face additional barriers to education and training. That is a key focus for my department and something that I personally put a priority on. And likewise, the AICC is working with businesses to support them in terms of adopting digital technologies through a wide range of initiatives.
Kate Nicholl.
Thank you, Minister, for your answers. I've tabled a number of questions on AI to you already. I'm very interested in this subject. A number of the other departments are doing pieces of work around artificial intelligence as well. And I was curious what the Minister's assessment is of the Executive's ability to deal with, harness the potential, but also mitigate against the risks in a way that is still flexible to deal with technological advancements. Thank you.
Yeah, and I thank the member for her interest in AI, because it's helping inform me too through the written questions. And I think that it is something that has huge potential, clearly, but also that comes with challenges and that people have some concerns about. So it is important that we address both of those. As an executive, when I was in my previous role, and I was responsible for the Public Sector Transformation Board, one of the things that became clear was there was significant interest in digital projects for transformation, and so the executive agreed to conduct a digital landscape review to take a kind of wider look at what the needs of the executive are. I'm also aware that there are a number of proof of concepts being undertaken by different departments in relation to this specific area, and I think that's going to be really important in informing how we can best utilise AI and grasp the opportunities of it.
Colm Gilney.
Minister, how is AI being incorporated into the work of your own department?
Minister.
So my department has delivered an AI proof of concept to explore economic data and policy documents and to assist with research. Officials are actively exploring opportunities for the use of AI, and as I mentioned to Kate Nicholl, I'm aware that there are a number of proof of concept projects that are being taken forward by other departments and also in other administrations. These are at various stages of development, and officials are working with colleagues to learn from that work and explore how the department can deploy relevant solutions in a controlled and measured way that adds value and that harnesses that potential.
Colin Crawford.
The Minister for her answers. Minister, can I ask, what engagement has your department had with the UK Government on the ethical and regulatory framework for safeguarding AI? Thank you.
So, as I mentioned, the Artificial Intelligence Collaboration Centre is an initiative being supported by my department and InvestNI, which promotes awareness and adoption of AI amongst businesses and does offer that support and skills development opportunities, and it is engaging with a wide range of stakeholders. I'm happy to write to the member with more detailed information in relation to our engagement with the British government on this particular issue.
Justin McNulty.
With Karen Corlin, I thank the Minister for her answers thus far. Minister, what specific actions are you taking to ensure that the North can capitalise on the potential of artificial intelligence and will be protected from any threats? And would you support the creation of a region-specific AI action plan to this effect?
And I thank the member for his question. And as I outlined in my opening answer, there is a range of work that is being undertaken to further explore the potential and to harness that potential of AI and to ensure that we do have the skills pipelines come through to support it, and also that we are supporting businesses in relation to the adoption of AI. Cyber is one of the department's priority sectors, and we have already developed an action plan for the sector, and we continue to engage with industry and academia in relation to this issue to make sure that we are maximising the opportunities from it.
Neil McAllister.
5, please.
Since the launch of the Sub-Regional Economic Plan in October 2024, positive progress has been made. Within DFE, reforms include a dedicated regional balance unit, which has been set up within a new social and regional economy division, bringing together complementary work streams, including the Social Enterprise Action Plan and entrepreneurship. All councils have a DFE strategic advisor and InvestNI regional manager assigned to provide support in establishing the local economic partnerships. The first of these partnerships have already met, and the rest plan to do so imminently. The partnerships will identify local priorities, and executive departments will be asked to help deliver on these priorities. In addition, in order to help prime projects, partnerships will have access to a £45 million fund over the next 3 years. Projects will be in line with my departmental priorities. A project board, including council officials, has been established to work through fund design and governance. The funding allocation for each area was announced in January. InvestNI has implemented a new regional approach. Promoting people and places is one of the 6 strategic priorities in InvestNI's 24 to 27 business strategy, and this includes the new target of 65% of investment to businesses outside the Belfast metropolitan area by 26-27. Other initiatives, such as the McGee Expansion Task Force, are also progressing well. A recent focus has been on acquiring the land necessary to facilitate the significant expansion in student numbers that we are committed to delivering.
Ms McAllister.
I thank the Minister for her answer, and I do note that the Minister did say about local councils working together with the Department, and you mentioned the 65% outside of Belfast. But I wanted to ask the Minister, given that the area that I represent in North Belfast and indeed West Belfast suffer the worst economic and health outcomes in the entirety of Northern Ireland, and for whom economic opportunity is so vital, how will the Minister ensure that regional rebalancing will serve those people?
And I thank the member for her question, and I think she makes an important point. And the local economic partnerships are about empowering the local areas to address the specific needs and to align those with the departmental priorities. So there will, of course, be opportunities for all councils and all areas within councils to do that, and I know that specifically every MLA and every local councillor will be making the case for their own area within those, and I think that's a healthy thing to do, and I think it's a really positive initiative that we do have the partnerships being established, and that there will be that ability to shape the priorities, economic priorities for the local area, but it is something that we will be reviewing as well as those roll out.
Padraig Delargy.
And I thank the Minister for her answers so far. Minister, you've already touched on McGee, but can you provide an update on the McGee planning, given that it is so vital to regional balance?
So, as the member will know, the task force published its final report and action plan on the 16th of December. The report provides a comprehensive and costed plan to deliver 10,000 students for McGee and highlights the significant milestones already achieved in the early stages of the expansion, which includes identification of 16 capital projects, acquisition of key pieces of land, an additional 500 student places in the academic year 24-25, and tuition fee loan access for graduate entry medical school students from 25-26, which I know the member had made the case for. Work has also begun on marketing and other enabling projects to support the delivery of additional students, and the final report also recommends an investment of £291 million of capital funding to deliver the facilities for 10,000 students by 2032.
Stephen McLaughlin.
Minister, what is your assessment of the Executive's performance as a whole in relation to improving regional balance since last February? And are you confident that enough measures are being taken right across government to achieve and deliver this goal?
Minister.
And I thank the member for her question, and I know that that this is an issue that she is very passionate about, and I share that with her. And I think as an executive we do have a focus on regional balance. I think that has come through across a number of departments and key decisions that have been taken. I think the work that has been taken forward under the City and Growth deals, for example, is really positive, and we'll see real change in coming years. But it will continue to take all of us who are passionate about it to continue to ensure that the delivery is being made on actually addressing the historic regional imbalances that have been faced, particularly in the west and southwest and northwest.
Moving on to topical, Sinead McLaughlin.
Minister, do you accept that the energy section within your department is not adequately resourced and is ill-equipped to deliver net zero?
I don't agree with the member's assessment. I think that energy is clearly a priority for my department and for me as Minister. It's one of the 4 key objectives of my economic mission is decarbonisation, and therefore we are putting a significant focus on it from a departmental perspective, both in terms of ensuring that there is budgetary cover, but also the resources that are there.
Ms McLaughlin.
Thank you, Minister. Minister, the Economic Committee recently received evidence from Transmission Investment which informed us that failure to produce proper policy on interconnection is placing the delivery of Lair Interconnector at risk. Minister, this is a multi-million-pound investment which will lower electricity prices, provide additional energy security and support decarbonisation. What is your department doing to support these investments, and will you concede that your department has not acted quick enough to help facilitate this drive to net zero?
Minister.
And I thank the member for her question. And the department, clearly we recognise the challenges that there are in the delivering on our energy targets, and we have taken significant action already. The energy strategy that the member will be aware of that was published in the last mandate, and the action plans that have been delivered since then. And it is a key priority, as I said, in terms of my economic mission, and we need to ensure that we are taking the appropriate steps. In relation to the specific issue around interconnection, again, I recognise the issues that there are there, and that the department has, as the member is probably aware, commissioned research into both energy storage policy and interconnection, which we are due to receive in April, which will help inform our way forward from a policy perspective.
Declan McAleer.
Can the Minister provide an update on the Good Jobs agenda?
And I thank the member for his question. My department's consultation on good jobs employment rights prompted a range of stakeholders to present a significant number of complex and considered responses, which have been very useful and which continue to be carefully considered by my department. This analysis work is nearing completion and will help inform decisions about how we best update our employment law framework. On the 15th of January, my officials provided the Assembly Economy Committee with an interim update on analysis of responses, and my department will continue to work with the committee, ensuring members are engaged and informed of key developments. Since my predecessor set out an economic vision for the North, my department and its delivery partners have taken forward a wide range of initiatives to help create more good jobs. The Good Jobs Employment Rights Bill public consultation focused, as the member will be aware, on 4 aspects of a good job: terms of employment, pay and benefits, voice and representation, and work-life balance. And obviously there is an awful lot that will fall into each of those areas. Detailed analysis is almost complete, and this analysis, along with other policy considerations, will inform my decisions about the way forward, and I plan to bring bill proposals to the Executive for agreement in coming months. A Good Work Charter consultation will also be launched in coming months, and I look forward to working alongside the Labour Relations Agency, business and trade union leaders in co-designing a charter that will support businesses here to maintain and create good jobs for all. We want to stimulate high value-added growth by promoting industries and sectors with the potential to create high-quality jobs with good pay, conditions, security and opportunities. So last year we published the action plans for the 7 high-potential industrial sectors, a sub-regional economic plan and a social enterprise action plan.
Mr McAleer.
Well, good. I thank the Minister for her response. Would the Minister have any update on the work of Advice NI and promoting the living wage?
Sure.
And I thank the member for his supplementary. Advice NI began its work, supported by my department, as the new accreditation partner here for the Living Wage Foundation in June 2024. My department is providing funding to Advice NI of £125,000 per annum. Advice NI have confirmed that a number of accreditations for businesses as living wage employers are continuing to rise, with 51 new organisations accrediting since the start of the project and 19 during the period of October to December alone. Up to the end of December, the total number of living wage employer accreditations here stands at 127. The Living Wage Foundation's new accreditation partner for the North, Living Wage NI, was launched in June 2024, and it was established by Advice NI, supported by Department for Economy. And the department holds quarterly progress meetings with Advice NI, who confirmed in the last progress meeting that the number of accreditations, as I have outlined to the member, continues to rise.
Dr. Reagan.
Thank you very much indeed. And may I thank the Minister for her comments so far. And I noticed when she was answering the question to Ms McLaughlin about the priorities of energy. Could the Minister point out to us, because it is obviously such a priority of the Economy Department, what are the implications both for us getting to net zero and also the additional costs for the fact that the North-South Interconnector has been delayed further to 2035 at the least?
And I thank the member for his question, and my department, as he will know, is working with Sony and NIE Networks on the delivery of the North-South Interconnector north of the border, and it will be a really important project in terms of increasing that electricity flow between both jurisdictions and improving the operation of the wholesale island electricity market. Sony did recently advise, as the member is clearly referring to, of a delay in the construction of the North-South Interconnector following the assessment of the remaining programme of works in the south. So the department is continuing to engage with the utility regulator, with Sony, NIE Networks and the Department of Environment, Climate and Communication in the south on the progress of the delivery of this project. Clearly it is a priority for us.
Thank you very much indeed, and thank you very much, Minister, for your reply. The Minister will be aware that there is somewhere in the region of £100 million of extra costs are anticipated by the fact there is no North-South interconnection, which is reported in Dáil Éireann. Therefore, could the Minister report back to this Assembly what the likely additional costs are to Northern Ireland, particularly Northern Ireland business? Because, as she is aware at the moment, the ICEM is a virtual market. There is no actual physical connectivity, and these are costs that are being applied on our manufacturing sector and across our domestic sector considerably.
Sure.
And as I have outlined to the member, the delivery of the North-South Interconnector is clearly important in terms of our energy and particularly the flow of electricity across the island. And I will be getting further briefing from officials in relation to the issues that have been raised.
Sean Mulholland.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Minister. Another AI question. I'm afraid it's just really to ask what engagement you've had with the creative sector. I suppose to understand the challenge that AI has the potential to have on the sector.
And I thank the member for her question. And I suppose AI has an interface with many sectors. I know that it does pose some challenges to the creative sector, and I know that there is some legislation coming forward in Britain which is concerning to the sector. So it's something I haven't had the opportunity yet to engage with the creative sector on, but that I'm more than happy to do so.
Ms Mulholland.
It's a perfect follow-on, I suppose, to my question. It was about that UK government consultation on copyright law, and would you commit to potentially engaging with the creative sector, I suppose, to understand what their worries are around that, but also to ensure they can meaningfully exercise their own copyright and exclusivity rights?
And I thank the member for her follow-up question, and it's something I have been engaged by creatives about, and I know there is significant concern about what the potential implications are, so I am happy to engage with the sector to try to understand those challenges and any influence that we are able to bring in respect of that. And it goes back to the point about there is huge potential with AI, but it also does come with challenges, and we need to understand both.
Andy Allen's not in his place. I call David Brooks.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank the Minister for her answers so far. East Belfast, like many areas of Northern Ireland, has seen a proliferation of Airbnb-style short-term lets that significantly negatively impact upon the availability of family housing. Will your department make the Tourism NI review of short-term lets a priority, and do you intend to bring forward any legislation to help halt this decimation of local communities?
And I thank the member for his question, and it's something I know that was raised with the Communities Minister at a recent meeting in Causeway Coast and Glens Council as well. And when the Minister brought forward the housing supply strategy before Christmas, he had asked officials across departments to work on particular issues, this being one of them, and my officials are engaged and happy to do so.
Paul Fruit. Right, apologies, Mr. Brooks.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Could I ask the Minister, will she, perhaps through Tourism NI, be looking at the best international examples of regulation? I'm thinking particularly of Amsterdam's 30-day cap that seems to have worked well there, and try to see what we can learn to bring better enforcement and regulation here.
And I thank the member for the follow-up question, and I had the opportunity to meet with Tourism NI last week. It was an introductory meeting, but this was one of the issues that we did actually mention in passing, and it is something I will be happy to look at in more detail. I do think it is important that we look to where there are good examples of things that work, and we are able to try and build on that best practice. So it's something I'm happy to engage upon and to work with Tourism and the Communities Minister.
Mr. Farouk.
Mr. Speaker, can I ask the Minister for an update on the North-South Interconnector, please?
Minister.
The member might not have been in his place when I was responding to a question from Mr. Aiken around this. I assume he is referring to the delay that was announced in the south recently. Sony had advised the department of a delay in the construction following the assessment of the remaining programme of works in the south. My department continues to engage with the utility regulator, Sony, NIE Networks and the Department of the Environment, Climate and Communication officials in the south to progress the delivery of the project. The project is clearly highly important in terms of the efficiency of our electricity transmission across the island, and it is important that we see progress quickly.
Mr. Farouk.
Mr. Speaker, and I thank the Minister for her answer. Given the figures that are bandied about with regards to the cost of actually building the interconnector and then the benefits that would be derived from it, I feel, Minister, that those figures are now massively out of date. Can the Minister provide accurate figures as to the cost to build and then the benefit derived from?
Minister.
The member will appreciate I probably don't have that information in front of me, but I'm happy to write to him and to share that with him.
Andrew McMurray.
Thank you, Minister. What commitment can the Minister give to supporting offshore renewables in Kilkeel Harbour and the surrounding area?
I thank the member for his question. My department, in collaboration with other departments and key stakeholders, have developed the Offshore Renewable Energy Action Plan to enable offshore renewable energy development in the North Marine area from 2030. DFE has recently appointed RPS Ireland to undertake an update to the 2012 Strategic Environmental Assessment and Habitats Regulation Assessment of offshore renewable energy in the North Marine area. That will, in collaboration with other key delivery partners, help to identify suitable areas for offshore renewable energy development across various technology types, including wind, tidal and wave.
Mr. McMurray.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, the Minister. As part of delivering 80% renewables by 2050, how is the Minister working with the UK, our neighbours in the Republic of Ireland and across Europe to ensure that the offshore maritime industry remains competitive and at the forefront of their industry?
thank the member for his follow-up, and I think we do need to build on the previous success that we have had in terms of renewable development, and the Executive does need to take that collaborative whole system approach to facilitate delivery of the 80% by 2030 target. While my department has legislative responsibility for the target, collaboration across departments and across jurisdictions with wider stakeholders, including industry, is going to be essential to the successful delivery of the target.
I move to questions to Minister for Justice. I call Maurice Bradley. Minister.
My officials have been working closely with PSNI to